Hi guys, Aragon here, and today we are in WolfQuest with CrowFang. These first clips that you're gonna see are from something I already recorded, but I did want to go ahead and just kind of give a brief overview of what happened because the audio was not good, and I really did not want to upload another video that had poor audio quality. So we started off our journey with CrowFang going into the mine shaft. It was the same place we left off in the first episode. I did get the achievement of the miner for doing this. There is a pickaxe collectible, and I'm not entirely sure if it's here in the mines, so I might have to go back and check that out because we definitely want to get that collectible. So this mine shaft was a decent size. I think I expected it to be a little bit bigger, and it wasn't, but that was okay. We still had fun exploring it and seeing what was going on. There was like a giant pile of antlers in there, which was kind of crazy to see. But yeah, so this was how we started off our journey, and it does look like there's a pickaxe in the cart, but I don't know if we can grab that one. I'm unsure if that's the collectible or not. But this was our beginning here. And I had fun doing it. It was pretty interesting to see. And I really do enjoy that they've added this into the game. I think it was fun. So next we just moved on to the pile of skulls, or the elk skull and the moose antler that we had already seen and collected from the previous episode. And along the way I found this house and a little shack that had a den next to it. I did take a minute to kind of look at the book and see what it was about. And then from here we just went and dropped off this moose antler, and I ended up heading back and collecting the skull. Because we are trying to fill up that little island with treasures. Next, we ended up heading up into enemy territory, and we found this rock fist sculpture. We also ran into some wolves that were from that pack. I don't know if there's an achievement for this rock. I didn't end up getting it if there was, so I might have to go back and check that out as well. And then we headed up to the watchtower, and I took quite a minute to check this out. I thought it was pretty cool. I wanted to kind of read everything and see all of the posters and things that were hanging around. And then, of course, there's a human bed in here, so I went ahead and slept in that bed so that I could add to the achievement. I believe I have one more human bed to sleep in, if I'm not mistaken. And then I took a minute to read what was on the typewriter, and then collected the mug so that we could go and add that to our treasure island as well. And then we headed up towards the it's called the Lil Yellowstone, or Lil Yellowstone in the game. I did get an achievement here that was a landmark achievement. And we just kind of made our way around. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing any achievements for looking at these. I do have to come back to this spot because I think I missed going up to a certain area. We did get cut short, which you'll see here in a little bit. We actually had those wolves hunt us back down, so we did end up getting chased out of this area pretty quickly. I was trying to read the plaques when it all happened, and then one of the wolves from earlier that we named kind of got us. And then I ended up finding another moose antler, so we collected that and made our way back to the treasure island with the moose antler. And it was about this stage when I was getting ready to start my Sparrowwing playthrough for her first episode, when we found another antler. So we went and dropped this off, and that is where we ended up leaving CrowFang off at. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys kind of know what was going on. I was gonna just scrap this video altogether, but I did decide that I wanted to at least include the highlights that happened and the achievements that we did get, just so that it's documented in his playthrough. But yeah, so we will jump back on into CrowFang's series today, and I hope you guys will stick around for that. Okay, so here we are with CrowFang. Hopefully that intro wasn't too boring, or I know the camera moved a lot, kind of made me motion sick editing it, so I do apologize if anyone out there also gets motion sickness fairly easily. But I didn't feel right completely scrapping everything I had previously recorded, so I figured that was probably the best way to at least showcase it without it being an entire video of poor audio. But today, I actually have an agenda. It looks like CrowFang actually needs to sleep a little bit, so I think we're gonna do that really quickly. And while he sleeps, I'll go ahead and let you know what the plans are. So today I want to find Floppy. I looked at all the achievements that I have like unlocked that I can actually read what they are. So I need to find Floppy, and I can sleep in a doghouse as well because I'm pretty sure Floppy is near town, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna head down towards town, and I'm pretty sure Floppy is over here. I'm hoping so. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and head down that way. And then we can get, I think, 2 achievements out of the way. I'm not sure. One of the Floppy achievements is hidden, so I don't actually know what it is. So I don't know if that's just discovering Floppy. But I know the other one is to visit Floppy in all seasons, which it's fall right now, so we can at least get fall, I think. And then hopefully get the winter one if we can get there fast enough. And then there's all those dog houses along the houses in the neighborhood, so we can go ahead and get that while we're in this area. After that, I want to try and find, there's a Crooked Waterfall, and there's an achievement to visit it in the winter. So I think my plan is to try and find that relatively quickly here, since it's gonna be winter, so we can go ahead and get that achievement today as well. And then I would like to try and find the Peace Sculpture and Toadhenge. I know that those two are kind of close to each other. Sorry, I just wanted to... Oh, this was the gingerbread house. Yeah. That was really cute. I think it's cool that they kind of did like a little Christmassy thing. That's interesting. Just a lone little coyote. We are kind of running aimlessly through town right now. I don't know exactly where Floppy is. Yeah, see, there's some elk down here too. So this would be kind of a good territory to have a few hexes in, possibly. just so we always have a place to sleep and find food. But I do want to travel around and try and stay out of the way of other packs. So we can see if we can do something like that. Oh, I think this is where Floppy is. And I don't know if this is going to count as visiting Floppy in winter. Or fall, because it is snowing, but I think technically it's still fall. I'm not 100% sure about that, and I don't know if there's actually a way to get in with Floppy, but I do love that they left Floppy in the game. And made it a whole thing. I love that. So that's Floppy, if you've never seen Floppy before. I don't know all the specifics of the lore, but I do know that it had something to do with, obviously he's a glitch, kind of, so, they ended up keeping him in the game, which is quite hilarious. But we do need to sleep anyways, so we'll go ahead and sleep in a doghouse and get that achievement as well. And then possibly try to come back to Floppy, maybe when it snows a little bit more and we move on to the next, like, chapter. Because it will give us the notification. I pushed yes, but I'm not really interested in finding a mate. I would like to see what she looks like. Is this her? It's a male. I don't think a male wants to court me, considering the fact that I'm also a male. I don't know if I'm gonna name wolves quite yet. I might come back and name them a little bit later. Oh, here she is. I don't want to court, but I do want to see what she looks like. She's kind of pretty. She kind of reminds me of an amethyst. Ooh, I like Stardust. It is the pack that she came from, but I think we could name her. We'll name her Amethyst Dust, just because she kind of has almost like a purple hue to her. And then the dust is kind of relative to her original pack name. And then we could name this one. He's from Buzzard's Roost. And he was kind of reddish. So maybe we could name him something along the lines of like a red roost. I don't always name like wolves based off of their like pack name. I'd actually say I hardly ever do it, but I think sometimes it's kind of fun to do things like that. She's pretty, but we are a lone wolf, and we're going to continue to be a lone wolf. There's also an achievement for being a lone wolf for a year and surviving. I don't think I knew that this house was open. There's an achievement that has to do with an abandoned refrigerator, I think. But it's looking like that is not the refrigerator. Oh, we can't go upstairs? Man. Well, we can come sleep in this bed at the very least. And I think this will actually get us the achievement in full, because I think this is the third bed. Yes. Okay, so we did just get the achievement officially. I don't know if it's going to pick up in the actual recording itself, but we did get the achievement for sleeping in 3 human beds. So, that's nice. And then let's go and find one of those dog houses. I swear there was one along the back of these houses somewhere. Like next to a garage. I do need to get the achievement for bringing pups here, but that's gonna have to be probably Sparrowwing that does that, unless, like I said, I might take over a rival pack, and then I could have my own pups before CrowFang passes away. Sorry, I just wanted to check this out, because last time I didn't really look at it. But we have to find that doghouse. It was definitely around here somewhere. What is this? Geyser tonic? Okay. So we need to keep this, or at least set it in a place that we can come back and collect it later, so that we can go ahead and bring it to our treasure island. Oh, here it is. Okay, I was like, I know I saw it. Oh, okay, we can't just, like, fit. I don't know how, like, if I need to be all the way in it or not. So we'll just go ahead and sleep again, I guess. Hopefully we're in it enough. Yes, we are in it enough to get the achievement. And then we are going to have to go out for a hunt. And I don't even know how much of that I'm going to show, because I do know that most of my hunts in this game have been pretty painful to watch. I'm not going to lie. So let's go ahead and see if those elk are anywhere around here still. They probably have taken off. We're definitely... I'm not going to spend the time to chase Pronghorn down. It would just take too long, I think. I could also check my scent view and see if there perhaps is anything else around here. Like a carcass, maybe. But I'm not seeing anything. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just go ahead and drop this off really quickly. And then I'll bring you guys back and see if we can find... here's the Crooked Creek. So the Crooked Waterfall has to be somewhere along here. So I'll go drop this off, and then I'll make my way over here, and I'll bring you guys back for that. And hopefully in the meantime we'll find something to hunt, or a carcass that's already been taken down. So, just really quickly, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys our progress here. We have 2 moose antlers, and then I think this is just a buck antler, to be completely honest, just like a really large one. And then we have a buck skull and the elk skull as well as our mug and the newfound tonic. And I feel like I found a tonic earlier in the first episode. I could be wrong about that, but I do think that I found one over by the mine. So that might be something I eventually have to go back and grab, or look back through the first video and see if I'm right and if I did find something like that. That way I know if I do need to go back or not. But, oh yes, and here's the truck. I did find this in the previous episode that I recorded with the den. This is also an achievement, but unless we have CrowFang have his own family, he will not be the one getting this achievement. That did not make the cut for things that we found. I just tried to keep the collectibles and most interesting things visible for everyone, but we actually need to head this way. So I will go ahead and pick back up with you guys again when we get to the Crooked Creek or Crooked River and see if we can find that waterfall, because it is going to be winter soon, if it doesn't already count as being winter. So we do want to get that achievement while we're in this season. Otherwise, we have to wait an entire year before we can do it again. So I will show you guys when we get there. Really quickly, I just wanted to show that we have made some progress in the achievement that has to do with finding the dams. It does include beaver dams and human-made dams. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys the progress in that achievement. Okay, so we have made our way down here to Tower Rocks, or Tower Rock. Oh, Temple Rock. That's my bad. I'm already seeing so many interesting things. Whoops. We did find an elk. I think I put a clip of the calf in, but if not, I did get a elk calf. So we're pretty fueled up. I do have a little bit left on my meat chunk, but I want to go ahead and check this out. This is quite interesting. It looks like an old western town. There's an old wagon. This is really cool, actually. I don't think I've seen this at all in any videos that I've watched of anyone playing Lost River. And if I have, I don't think I paid too much attention. Oh no, okay, I have seen this, because I think Simple Square has a series where she was raising her pups here, and I think I just assumed that it was the town I don't think I realized that it was different at the time. So this is very cool and interesting. Mining supplies. Oh, I wonder if, doesn't look like we can go in here, but I wonder if the pickaxe would be around here somewhere. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, we'll have to go back to the mines at some point and see if we can find that pickaxe that we need to collect. I just thought that maybe with that mining supply that there would be something over here of the sorts. It would kind of make sense for the pickaxe to be here, but that's okay that it's not. We hopefully will find it playing as CrowFang. But yeah, so we're looking for the Crooked Waterfall. We have to be there in winter. We do have quite a ways to go, it looks like. Quite the journey, because I do think that the Crooked Waterfall is probably somewhere up here. But it could be down here as well. It also could be over here. So I guess I'll make my way down this way, and we'll just make our way up the Crooked Creek. And we'll just see... We'll see what we can find. I do want to check this out, though. It's kind of a neat little area, all these rocks. I kind of like it. I just don't know if there's anything else of interest over here to look at besides that little town. It's looking like probably not. Just some really neat rock formations. Let's check. Okay, I saw that tree, and for a moment I thought maybe it was like a beaver dam or something. It was worth looking at, just in case it was one of them. Oh, you know what? We were up here at one point. This is the mine shaft. So I never made my way down. But I guess while we're here, we'll just quickly see if we can find that pickaxe. Or if I did end up finding that tonic or something. Try not to move my camera too much. I don't think... I don't think it's gonna be here. I think that pick is gonna end up being inside of the mine shaft somewhere, and I'm gonna have to like find it and then make my way out in the dark or something like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere. It could also just be really well hidden. Or it could be somewhere completely different. Is that a cat? I don't, I don't think we can jump up there. I don't remember that cat being there the first time I was here. I really want to see if I can get up to that cat, though. I don't think I can. It looks like you would be able to. Just based off of the that. But I'm not seeing... Ooh, maybe... Dang it. It looks like probably they don't want you up there. Dang it. That is so interesting. I feel like that would be some sort of an achievement. It could just be like a little Easter egg or something. It does look at me though. That's very interesting. But I think we'll go ahead and make our way in the mine. I wonder how dark it is if I go in there without the light. Okay. Okay, it gets very dark. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... I don't want to get lost. But if the pickaxe is in here, I would like to get it. So I guess this is round 2. Yeah, and I already checked that out. I didn't see anything up here that I could get to. So I guess... Yeah, we can't grab that. And I know that there's another pickaxe in one of the other, like, mine carts. But I really don't think... I don't think they would put it in here if it's that dark, you know? Like, if it's that hard to see to get out. I don't think they would put a pickaxe in here. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't see anything other than the ones that are inside. So I'm thinking the pickaxe is going to end up being somewhere else entirely. Which is fine. This is where we were just at. Okay. Yeah. So we're just going to head back out. I don't think it's in there. But we can go ahead and finish off our meat chunk here. Or not. I guess we have a tiny bit left. We are going to want to sleep. But I want to make my way over... at least to the Crooked Creek. And then we can go ahead and sleep. And try to make our way up to that Crooked Waterfall and see if we can find where that is located. Okay, so I think we might have found it. It's not quite winter yet, so I don't think that this is gonna count. But I do think that this is probably that waterfall. I want to come over here really fast and see if there's a den. There is. I'm kind of really enjoying this area and kind of wishing I had seen this before I started Sparrowwing's playthrough. I think it would have been fun to have her pups in this area. So potentially when it's time for them to have their second litter of pups, we might move her down to this area. But I'm wondering if this is the Crooked Waterfall. I'm pretty sure that it is. Let's see if I can finish off this meat chunk here. Yeah, it makes sense that this would be that waterfall. Okay. I am not entirely sure why that happened, but I'm glad that we didn't fall to our death. You guys didn't see it, but earlier I actually was not looking while I was running. I was like looking off to the side, and I jumped off of a giant rock ledge, and I thought for sure that was going to be the end. I thought he was going to take fall damage and die, and because he's an Ironwolf, we wouldn't have been able to bring him back. But thankfully that wasn't the case. But I do believe that this is probably the waterfall that we were looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like mark it on the map. I guess we can do this upside down triangle. We'll go ahead and just call it Crooked Fall. And hopefully it'll be winter before too long, and we can go ahead and get that achievement as well. So the other two achievements I wanted to accomplish today were the peace sculpture and Toadhenge, but I think that those are up. I'm gonna hide the territories. I think those are up here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. They might also be somewhere here in the middle. So I don't know if we want to run up that way today and try and get those. If we do have to try to be careful not to get killed by any rival wolves. I don't think we would die, but it is something to keep in mind. And I'm not entirely sure that that's where they are. I just think that that's where they are. I think that the Toadhenge is somewhere here and the peace sculpture somewhere up here, but it could be in the hinterlands. I think the Toadhenge could also be on here, which is quite a ways away. We also need to go to the Lost. There's an achievement called the Lost. I don't know if we just have to go there or not. Okay, so I was just looking back at the pictures I took of the possible achievements that we could get, and it looks like the Lost is just a regular natural landmark that we need to go to. So I think we'll go ahead and try to head up towards the Lost and Found, because I am pretty sure that that is where we're gonna find what we're looking for. Okay, so it looks like we actually are coming up on a little old abandoned gas station. So I wanted to go ahead and check this out really quickly. I know that we need to come back to these picnic tables at some point. And there is a shoe, a clown shoe, that we do need to collect and bring back to our treasure island. We're obviously not going to do that right this second, but I do want to mark this on the map. We'll just do the square and call it clown shoe. Okay, so now we have this marked on the map, so we can come back and collect it at some point. Maybe in the summer, since I have to come to these picnic tables in the summer anyways. I believe it's these picnic tables that I need to visit in the summer. So we'll go ahead and do that at some point. But I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys that before we continued on towards the Lost and Found. Okay, so We just found a spike elk antler. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this on the map as well so that we can come back and also add that. I do need to find one more spike elk antler, and I believe at that rate I'll have gotten the achievement just from finding antlers with my other wolves. So I think I'll have the achievement in full if we find one more spike elk antler, which will be nice. I feel like for sure there would be like a fallen tree den somewhere in here, just with how many of them that there are. Like, it would definitely make sense for them to add something like that in here. See, I feel like this has to be a landmark. But I'm not getting anything. That is a ginormous moose. I'm not gonna mess with him, of course. Maybe this rock over here? Yeah, we've just gone like way up. Farther than I thought. So I really truly don't know. This is what I was talking about when I said there was like trees that looked darker than the others. I just didn't see anything running through. So I'm not sure. You guys might have to let me know on that one. Maybe it's something else. And I do know that we need to visit Blade's Peak at some point, but I think we have to go in the spring or the summer if I'm not mistaken. So there's no point in going there. Potentially, I guess we can check out the hinterlands and see if the Toadhenge and the Peace Hand are anywhere up in this area. And that could mark 2 of the other achievements that we need. So I guess just really quickly while we're headed up that direction, I know that the first episode was kind of like just random because I was just really excited to jump in, and so I didn't I knew there would be a den here somewhere. This could potentially be a nice spot in another playthrough at some point. But anyways, I was just super excited to jump in with CrowFang and play like a lone wolf. And there is a lot I want to do with him, but I do know that this might be on the more boring side for people, especially if you're not into like achievement hunting or anything. And I'm not even necessarily trying to like 100% get all of the achievements, but it would be nice to do that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that in future CrowFang episodes you can expect that I will have an agenda going into it, so we're not just aimlessly kind of running around and doing a bunch of random things. I do those are just the same dogs that we keep seeing. I just wanted to make sure one of them wasn't Carmela. But I do want to come into each CrowFang episode with an agenda, with specific, I want to have specific achievements that we're kind of headed towards, just to kind of keep the interest and not have a bunch of aimless wandering and too much random babbling, because I know that I can do that. So every time that we start a CrowFang episode, I will have a list of achievements I would like to try and get done for the day. Some of them are based off of seasons and things like that, so we won't be able to get all of them. And Also, CrowFang obviously can't get all of the achievements himself. Even if I do give him a family in his older age, he can't get all of them. I also am still open to moving him to other maps, especially for like the landmark achievements and collectible achievements. I think it would be easier to be able to do that with a lone wolf because we don't have pups relying on us. Especially if we go during the time of year that you can court other wolves. That might make it a little easier to get through other territories. I don't know if those are the same dogs that keep following us, but I'm sure that there is some landmarks up this way. This looks very familiar from videos I've seen, and I do think that the Toadhenge is somewhere up here. And if I remember right, the peace sign structure is very close to the Toadhenge structure. So we're gonna see if we can find those. Again, I might be in the entirely wrong place here, but it's worth checking out. Oh my gosh. We're gonna sleep right here, right now. Oh, and I can't. Honestly, I'm gonna do it anyways because we are on a cliff, so good luck to them. Oh my gosh, I was trying to turn around. They're interested in leaving their natal pack. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Just because it's gonna kind of... Oh. Please, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. I'm stuck. Okay. We have come across these wolves before. I'm gonna just be nice. I'm not really trying to court right now, but I just want them to not try to kill me. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take this. Oh. Okay. I'm getting too scared here. There's a little pond there. I think that is actually a landmark, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. But this is not the wolf to be climbing mountains with, because if he dies, he dies. Like, all of the way. But I need to check this out while I'm here. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's in that water. I don't want to swim in it with the shoe in my mouth, because I don't want to risk, like, dropping it and losing it forever in the abyss. I don't see anything up there either. I need to be careful along these edges. Okay, so I don't think the Toadhenge or the peace sign are up here. Maybe they are, and I'm just in the wrong spot. Yeah, like it might be up on that side. I just need to be really careful right now. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this shoe. I gotta be really careful here. Okay, we're just gonna... yeah, we might have to... Okay, we're just gonna mark it on the map. And we're gonna get out of here. We are not dying today. Not today. Not as an Ironwolf. We are also an Unforgiving. if you haven't seen the first episode, or if the first episode was just too much for you to watch, due to the audio being as bad as it was. We are in Unforgiving, so, and an Ironwolf. If he dies, he's gone forever. And I really don't want to die when we haven't even had a chance to make it through our first year. At the very least, I would like to make it to age 8 if we could. But yeah, I'm not so sure. So it is winter. It is officially winter. I think we're gonna run back in. Not necessarily for the clown shoe, but I really want to get up here. I should turn my pack territories back on. Okay, they are not giving up any of this territory. Yeah, and this isn't even the hinterlands. But we're gonna go ahead and just run up here and see what we have to look at. And then I'll run out again if I get chased. But at least our health is back up to a manageable place. And then if we can head back over and collect the clown shoe before we leave. We also have to be very careful with this accumulation of snow. So we don't fall to our death. Here it is. I knew it. Yes, I knew that this was here. I guess we could claim this part of the territory. It's probably not smart. But I guess it's worth a try. I'm just gonna see if my second howl is any quicker. And then I just won't be worried about keeping this territory if it starts to kind of dwindle away. Okay, I need to mark my scent post. Oh, maybe we cannot claim any territory right now. Okay, so that's interesting. Maybe because we haven't quite gotten to the point where it told us that we could claim small territories for ourselves. Unless this is how it is, and it just doesn't mark it with color. We will see. We'll see what happens as things progress. Okay, here is another picnic table. This might be the one that we need to come to. This might be one that we have to come to for the achievement. So I think I am going to go back and get the clown shoe, because we are close enough to go ahead and just do that. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else up here. Like I said, that peace sign I thought was close to the Toadhenge, so it would be worth trying to find that, but I'm not entirely sure where it's at. I kind of want to come up here. I just need to be really careful. Oh, and here's another elk skull. Okay, yeah, I don't think we can climb up there. So we have a lot of treasures that we actually need to collect. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave this skull just on this rock here. That way I don't have to mark it on the map. And if I come up to this area again, I will see it and remember. Otherwise, maybe I'll remember to come back and get it later anyways. But let's go get our clown shoe. And I guess we can take that back to our treasure island. And then we can go ahead and leave this episode off there, I guess. Instead of finding the piece structure. It will be kind of sad if we did like barely miss it and it was up here. So I found a cabin in the area that we were in before. So maybe this is part of the lost. I feel like this might actually be the one that we found before. It definitely is. Yes. Okay, so never mind. There's nothing special about this whatsoever. We came here in the first episode and I made a comment about how the bed looked like there was a dead body. Because it does. It looks like there's a body under the covers. And then there's a little outhouse, which we actually didn't check out last time, but looks like we can't even get in there anyways. So we're almost back to the treasure island. Okay, so we are back to our treasure island. We can't really see anything because of the snow, but that's okay. And it is much quieter now that everything is frozen, which is also nice. But I really do love our little spot here with our treasure collectibles. So I guess that is gonna do it for us for today. We'll go ahead and sleep really quick. And then when I see you guys in the next episode, we will go and take care of the things we needed to do in winter, like visiting Floppy again, going to that Crooked Waterfall, and then hopefully we can find the peace sign structure and also head back up to the rock fist structure and see if that did have an achievement that I just wasn't able to get because of the wolves that were kind of next to me right at the time. But yes, so that is gonna do it for us for today. CrowFang is really hard to see here in the shadows, but I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.